Going live. We're like staying on time and stuff. What's up with that? It's so weird.
Oh, weird.
So I shared on all the things. Ooh, there's Kevin Petway. Hey, Florida, Kevin. It's good to see you. Got lots of fun people on as we go live. So how are you today, Ann? Did you melt in the 103-degree weather?
Me?
Yeah.
Was it 103 degrees today?
It was. You obviously did not go outside.
I mean, obviously, if I went outside, I would probably melt. But since I did not, I did not. I am not seeing a video on my side. I don't know if that's my computer or...
Well, it takes a minute, so your lag might be something on Twitch.
Okay, I'm refreshing my screen. So
I've got it on mine.
Oh, there we are. Very
Yay! Good. Right. So I guess we should probably start.
Should we? We should give people a second to join in, you know? I mean, give them a little bit of time, right?
What? People being late to this event? Now, people have been waiting in line. You know they have, Ann. They're just out around the door.
Well, I mean, you got to stand in line. You got to get your popcorn and all of that, right?
That's true. That's true.
I mean,
so
I don't have my popcorn, but I should have popped popcorn. I don't know what I was thinking. Do you have your popcorn?
I have boring water. I don't even have a fancy, delicious drink tonight.
What? I have
a bottle of water, no less.
I have this amazing mustache cup that is also water, but you know. And then I have this fun ginger turmeric peach tea. I guess that's what it's called. Turmeric peach something. I don't know.
That sounds delicious. I should have come to your house first and brought tea home and then got on the camera.
You should have. Someone got sushi. Ooh, I like
sushi. I'm jealous, Helen. I want some sushi.
Is that who that is, Helen?
Oh, no, Friday got it. Yay, Friday. I'm still jealous. I just saw the sushi word under Helen's name. I missed Friday.
Oh, okay.
Friday Blue wins. Awesome. So welcome. We've got a good crowd. We had some people from last time. We've got some new people. And I know Sean was on here, so that is awesome. Welcome, Sean. Sean joins me for the writing sprints. So any writers out there who want to come do our writing sprints, the schedule is below the video, and we'd love to have you. See, this is nice. You don't have to be on camera or anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone says they miss fish.
Uh-oh, do you know fish anymore?
No fish here. I miss fish. I don't know. I thought
Helen's not leaving the house long enough to eat fish. We'll have to ask her that later because she's one of our honored guests today.
Yes, she is. Absolutely. We will definitely have to ask her that when we get her on. I'll make a note of it. Ask Helen about fish.
Oh, yes. If anyone has not followed the channel yet, if you will please hit the little heart at the top. We're trying to get 50 followers so we can be an affiliate. So you get some cool stuff as an affiliate, and it would be nice to have that so we can introduce more and more people to our books. So,
absolutely. And that voice you heard was our tech genius that's here with us today. You may hear him occasionally. So thank you to our tech genius for that reminder. What? I can't hear you? So it's like we're talking to an invisible voice right now.
Yes.
Yes.
You were. I was being the voice in your little earpiece, you know, like they have on the news. Oh,
so you realize
this
that
just
means
in.
The whole time you're talking that it's silent on the screen. See, that would have been a good thing to know. You see, we're still learning what we're doing, people. We're still
absolutely. Now I have the ability to talk to everybody. Hey, everybody. But usually I say muted to be the voice in the ear.
Huh.
Sounds good.
Well, now you guys know if we're having some random conversation that there really is someone over on the other side of it.
I mean, isn't there always? I mean, we don't talk to characters in our head that aren't real or anything, ever.
Well, they don't generally respond the same way.
Awesome. Well, I'm so glad y'all are here. And if anyone is here and cannot type in the chat, that is because you are not logged in. So you can't just come here and just chat like you can anything else. You've got to, I mean, if you think about it, on Facebook, you're logged in when you go in and just chat. So you do have to be logged in, and the login is free. And you can do that also at the top of the screen. So it's like a little thing over on the top right-hand side. So if you will log in, we would love to have chats. Let's see. Oh, Haley's back. Yay, we see Haley. Yay. See, Haley talks to her characters too. And Aiden heated the no pants. Good job. There should always be no pants. I think Aiden is one of Diane's friends. Is that correct?
I guess we'll have to wait until they respond.
Awesome. I know. Well, that's the problem with the lag. So we'll keep doing. Yes, make Lena follow. Thank you, Kevin. All right. So I think we can probably start. As more people trickle in, they'll catch on. It's not that hard.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So do I get a chance to introduce you? Should I introduce you now? Or
yes, introduce yourself first. Yes, it's you. Yes.
I have
Master of ceremonies.
Kelly was so nice. She provided me with my own bio that I could read, but I will not read my bio. I will just tell you that I am Anne. I am Anne Rose. I go by AM Rose. I wrote some books. One of them there on the screen called Breakout, which I actually remembered this time, and I have a copy here.
Yes.
So I wrote this book, Breakout, that came out, I guess it was last year already, even though I don't even know what year it is anymore. And then I have this one here too called Road to Eugenica. That one also came out a couple years ago, both from Entangled Teen. So fun stuff. And yeah, that's me. I'm Anne. I go by AM Rose. You can follow me on Twitter. I do lots of shenanigans over there if you'd like. Anne M. Rose. That's me. And we have today, which is way more important than me, is Kelly.
Hello. Welcome, everyone. So excited. Go ahead.
We are here to, no, don't be sorry. Nothing to be sorry about. We're here to celebrate you and your second book. I only have your first book here available with me because I have yet to get to the second book yet. So I have to get that one in the mail. You know how that's working out these days. But
yes,
I'm very excited for it to show up. And so let me introduce you. Let me get my paper.
Sorry, dropped it.
Do I sound formal?
Official. You sound very official.
That's what I was looking for. That was the word. All right. Well, this is Kelly Lynn Colby. She is a writer of all things fantasy. Whenever she tries to create a Monday story, a dragon pops in to take over. She eventually stopped fighting and caved into the magic. The dragons must have known something she didn't because her debut novel, Tarbin's True Heir, won a bronze medal in the Iffies for fantasy. Yay! Insert screaming crowd noises. You will find her work in the Recharging series, as well as numerous short stories and anthology collections. Look for her paranormal thriller series, Emergence, with first book, The Collector, set to release in September 2020. And if I do say so myself, because I have started to read The Collector already, it is brilliant, and you're going to love it. Welcome, Kelly. Congratulations. Round of applause.
Yay, round of applause. Thank you. And our tech guru was all mad that he didn't put the applause soundtrack on because he's been playing with little sound bits. So
I was really surprised that he wasn't ready for that one.
He'll have it next time.
Okay, good. He
wrote
that is his job. He's one job.
One
job.
We're going to have to dock his pay, all of his pay.
All that money he gets.
That's right. Awesome. Okay, so we are starting today with, where's my time? There it is. Oh, we have point time. We're doing good. So we said hi to everyone. I don't know who else is in here. I do have, and like you said, the mail is slow, so I have book 2 ordered. But it's all I have right now is the author copy. Look at that. It's for real. Look at that. It's not an illusion. Look, it says Cursed Dragon Ship on the back. How cool is that?
Oh, great. I want one.
I'm sorry? My mother. Yay! My mom is on. Mom and Vicky. Yay! We got my moms on.
Hi,
I'm
Mom.
so glad y'all are here. Hello. Please follow.
Follow the channel.
Please follow.
The channel.
She was funny. I did another interview and she was like, but you didn't talk. I'm like, well, I talked a lot, just not at the beginning. She says, were you going to talk a lot tonight? I'm like, yep, the whole time. She's like, all right, I'm in. That's your mom. That is the mom you should have. That's right. So awesome. If you want to pre-order the book, well, actually, it's out now. Today is the release day, so you don't even have to pre-order. You can actually buy it. So the ebook is on sale right now on Amazon, and there is a link that our awesome tech guru will put up. So the link is on there. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you can read it for free. That's the same with book 1. And you can also buy the paperback now. It is live and for real. And quite frankly, as a customer, you're going to get the book a lot faster than I do as the publisher. It's very slow with us right now.
There was a question about getting signed copies. Is that going to be something that you make possible?
Yes, we are. Well, we are actually going to give one away. We're going to give 2 away tonight. So we could always give one away now. So why don't we do that? So for giving away copies, I'm going to give away either a signed copy of Tarbin's False Prophet, if you already have the first one, or I'll give away a copy of Tarbin's True Air. I have books piled on my desk. You'll be surprised. Tarbin's True Air, if you don't have that one yet. So either one, it is your choice which one you prefer. And we're going to give it away. You just have to hit, once he starts it. Did he start it? Did you start it, Mr. Tech Guru? Yes, he did. So you just have to hit bang raffle, which is an exclamation point and raffle. And it will automatically add it. Oh, yeah, I see people being added. Yay! And then you could just tell us which one you want. And then we'll send you the one that you prefer. So, see, yeah, he got it. He got it. Sometimes, 22 years of marriage will do that. 23. I totally remember when we got married, I swear.
More than one, less than all of them.
It was just like yesterday. I mean, it wasn't that long ago.
I barely know this guy over here, I'm telling you. So we're going to give that away. So that's another way to get it. Yay! But if you would like to purchase it, it's all on there. I do want to take a minute because we didn't talk last time. We are going to have lots of authors on here. So as you win books, as you do things, if you consider leaving a review, we all will greatly appreciate it. We need reviews very badly. And you can leave them wherever you like. If you want to leave them on Barnes & Noble, if you want to leave them on Amazon, if you want to leave them on Goodreads. Of course, we're really looking for them on Amazon, but anywhere you put them, we hugely and greatly appreciate it. It helps with algorithms and ads. And when you try to apply for certain things, they look at those. And then, of course, other people who want to buy the book, right? So if they look and, you have all, 3 stars, then they're not going to be interested. But you have a higher, closer to 5, then they're really happy. So consider that too, especially as, being brand new authors. They don't always know. Right, Anne?
Absolutely. And I would also say that if money's a little tight, you can always request them at your local library. Yeah. It's another great way to help spread the word about stories that you want to read and want to share with your community.
Yes, always an option too. So make sure to do that. So, yes, Kevin, our tech guru is on the good microphone. Of course, it was one of his birthday presents. He's all excited. So, I said, I think I need one of those. He goes, yes, you do. And then he quotes me the price. I'm like, no, I don't. I'm good. So, yes, someday we'll have fancy equipment. But as we're launching lots and lots of books, it'll be fun. So we have, how much time do we have left in the raffle? 30 seconds. We're almost done. So if you've not entered yet, if you just got here, put exclamation point, and raffle. And so that'll go right in there. Also, is there a QR code up? I can't see the screen.
Yes, there is.
Yes, the QR code will also take you to Tarbin's False Prophet. And then, Anne, I think, what's the link for your book too?
The link for my book?
Do you know? We have it. We'll put it up too. So we have the link for Anne's book, and we can put that up too if you want to get hers. And it's awesome. And these books, they're all appropriate for YA. So anyone worried about what their kids are reading, you don't have to worry with these guys. So that's so much fun. The raffle's closed.
And the winner is. Okay, do you have a drum roll this time, Tech Genius?
Yeah. Did you do a drum roll, Tech Genius?
I could not find a drum roll of an acceptable length. They were all either like really short or way too long. So, no.
Well, then we vote. Next time, do really short.
Got it.
All right.
We could have Cyrus actually record one for us.
We could. Seth Meyers was having his daughter do a drum, bump, right? Cyrus could do it for us.
Absolutely.
We could record it and then we own it. See, that'll totally work.
Done.
All right. So
are we ready?
Yep, we're ready. Let's see who the winner is. Let's see. Haley! So I have book 1 that I'm still mailing her. So I might wait, Haley, until book 2 comes, then I'll just mail both at the same time. So what do you think? Good job. Health to the yes, she said. I think she's happy.
I think she's pretty excited about this. I mean, I would be excited about it if I won it. So
right. Totally.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. So she will win it. We will give another one away at the end of the night. But this night isn't just about me. We have some awesome other writers in. I'm assuming Zafo is calling them. And then our tech guru, is calling. And then our awesome MC, I'm so sorry, I'm taking over her job, and she rocks at it, but she's used to me being obnoxious, poor thing. So I think she's the bio, and we'll move on to our first guest.
Yes, we are moving on to Diane. I believe she is in the green room, ready to go. See how fancy we are? The green room. There's no green room. Anyhow, Diane D. Marie Prokop enjoys stories with adventure, spiritual insights, and enlightening cultural or social critiques. She is also a singer-songwriter and an absolutely phenomenal knitter. She didn't put that in her bio. I added the phenomenal knitter part, but
Totally agree. That should just be in there as just a general rule.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, it's one of the questions I have prepared for her.
Oh, is it about knitting?
Oh, that's one of the questions too. I mean, this is required. You should have these questions.
Absolutely, absolutely. She should have to like show off some of her work too, because it's just incredible.
Oh, that's true. We should have made her do that. Are we switching to the next scene?
I think she might be on. I can hear little.
Hello?
Yes.
I can hear you, and I can now see you. All right.
There she is.
Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
Hello. We're going to switch to the scene, and Zepha will let us know when it's official. When Anne can scratch her nose again, you know.
When I can start scratching my nose?
Yeah, you can do that once we're off camera, right? I don't know. I can't seem to not touch my face. It's impossible. All right. So are we good? You know what I like about using another camera? I can move my computer and still be on camera. It's awesome. All right. So I can see you, Miss Diane. Welcome, welcome.
Hey, it's great to be here.
Did you melt out the heat today?
I did, actually. I mean, it took forever for the air conditioning to cool off the car when you got back in, so it doesn't even...
Yes.
What a day.
It was very hot at the barn.
Oh,
And the flies didn't seem to mind at all. It was horrible. Not a good day. I mean, it was a good day. Not a good day at the barn. Awesome. So we're here to talk about Good Shepherd, one of your amazing, I would call it a urban fantasy, but also a historical.
yes.
So it's kind of got all combined genre.
Oh, golly. I like the urban thing. It's the city in the past. Yes. So it is 1905 Boston area, and there is a supernatural group of people that are wardens and werewolves. So we're wardens of werewolves and werewolves. We're focusing. My main character, Leona, is a warden. She was born into this inheritance where she has a supernatural power to basically police werewolves. So she has to learn how to do that because her parents don't teach her everything she needs to know. So she's got a lot on her plate at the beginning of the book. So
It's pretty cool. I love Leona. She definitely has a lot of stick-to-itiveness because otherwise, if I was her, I think I would have given up a long time ago. So, and I was lucky enough to, read the beta and read the final. So it's incredible. So really well done. So I'm wondering, why did you decide werewolves, but you don't have any of the other fantasy tropes? Like there's no vampires or fairies or demons. Why did you decide to stick with werewolves?
Well, I like to say it's because I'm a simple girl. I can only do one thing at a time. But I like the whole werewolf thing, that it's a dual nature type of exploration. So that's just always been a thing for me, the Jekyll and Hyde of us all.
So wait, are you trying to tell me you have a werewolf inside? Because all we ever see is the sweet, nice Diane. I haven't seen that werewolf come out.
Oh, well, let's pray you don't, I guess.
Maybe I should talk to your children. They probably have seen
that. Might be better, yeah. Might be better. Yeah.
That's cool. Well, that's fascinating. That's a fun way to do it. And by the way, as we go along, if anyone has any questions for Diane, please just put them in the chat. Remember, there is a little lag, but we can't see it, so we'll make sure to do it. We'll make sure to see
them. To make sure that they are here as well. So I have not left. You might not see me. I'm still here.
So if we get out of hand, you can just complain to Anne and she'll draw us back in. No problem. So in Tarbin's False Prophet, so my second book, it's a book 2. So it offered completely different challenges beyond making deadlines than the first book did, right? Like deadlines was really the challenge I had. But nothing else was out, so I didn't have to worry about it. So the sequel to Good Shepherd is set to release this year, right?
Yes.
Is it this year? So what kind of challenges, what was different in the process for you writing a book 2 compared to book 1?
Right. It's a kind of a strange thing. The longest book I ever wrote was The Good Shepherd. And so I kept having this pressure of more words, more words, more words, but you have to tell the story and however many words it takes. And so it is a little shorter than the first one. And so that was kind of a surprise in a way for me. But it moves, it's a lot more action, a lot more werewolf action in this one. So
yes. I have to say, just for everyone in the audience, I will tell you, we're in critique group together. So Anne, Diane, and I are all in critique group together. And so I've read some of this for book 2, and it's incredible. So definitely get book 1 so you can read it, so you can get book 2. So it also in Tarbin's True Air, which is the first book in the series, Tally discovers truths about her family she never even thought to question. Like she didn't have any questions. Leona has the same sort of revelation. Yes, right? She learned stuff about her family that she didn't even know she should ask. So why do you think this is such a popular plot choice in fantasy? Why do you think we go there?
That's a really good question. I mean, I think it's in so much adolescent literature, even Harry Potter, the whole secret. You're a wizard, Harry, that kind of thing. We all wish we had some kind of secret that changed our lives. I think even for good or ill, I don't think we even care. I think we just want, as a teenager, a lot of us kind of wanted something to happen, and I think it fulfills that in all of us to read stories like that where we're special in some way, because we all are, and it's nice to fictionalize that, but I think everyone connects. So
I can see that's a very good answer. That's true. Especially people drawn to fantasy, right?
Yeah.
So people drawn to fantasy want that adventure. They want that difference. They want that thing about themselves that maybe they don't quite see.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that. That's a good answer. Let's see. Oh, Sandy joined us. Hello, Sandy. Welcome, welcome. We're good to see you. Oh, it looks like Sean loves urban fantasy too. Oh yeah, Sean's actually writing an urban fantasy novel too. So
awesome.
Yeah, urban fantasy is the way to go. And we have found, actually, even Michael Anderle was talking about, they found a lot of crossover with epic fantasy readers and urban fantasy readers, which is why we have a couple urban fantasy on, even though mine is epic fantasy, more traditional. Yours is more the urban fantasy, and so is Helen's that we talked to next. So it's the fans seem to just cross over, and I understand that. That's what I read most of the time, is epic fantasy and urban fantasy. It's my favorite. So I know you are giving away a ebook copy of The Good Shepherd. Yes?
Yes, right. I am.
Excellent. I think we should go ahead and do that now. What do you think? Ready for our first giveaway? All right. So we're setting it up. So it's the same. You just hit ! raffle, bang raffle, and hit enter, and then you will be entered into this, and we would love to send you a copy. And then instructions come after that. Give it just a minute. You have to wait. If it doesn't say yes, you're entered, it didn't work. So give it just a second. And once it gets set, okay, now it is open. So now if you already did bang raffle, it didn't work. So try it again. So, and then Diane will get you that awesome copy. And remember, if you're trying to talk and you can't, you want to enter and win these things, you do have to be logged in. You can get a login. It is free. So it's on the top right-hand corner. Just get your login. And then you'll be able to type in there. But so while they're all entering, I did have a question about your knitting. It's fun how so many authors have these different, because it's not like it comes up in your books, you know what I mean? It's not this special part in these books, in Good Shepherd.
Not so much, yeah.
Right. So what is it, when did you pick up knitting?
Well, I learned crochet in college from a friend that I just saw and was fascinated and wanted to learn. So she taught me, and then I was pregnant and we had just moved, and so I was home alone a lot and went to the library a lot and got a book and learned from a book how to knit. And so my son that was before he was born, so he's 18 now, and so yeah, I'm about to be 19. So yeah.
Awesome. Like I
19
crocheted
years.
with my child. I was like, I should make a blanket, right? You know, I think a lot of us
Yeah.
probably, and I did, and I crocheted a blanket and it fell apart. So I crocheted a blanket for my daughter and that one I got better, but I didn't get past blankets. But I mean, I've seen that you
That's
make
okay.
socks and hats and fancy scarves and sweaters. Like, see?
I thought I'll just sneak some in while I'm like, you can't see me, right? So I'm working on athletic socks. I thought I don't wear socks. This is Texas, and I don't wear socks like regularly during the day, but I wear them to exercise in, and I have the cotton yarn for that. And I'm like, well, got all these socks sitting around. These ones are not going to sit around.
I shall get
Put
them
them to
done.
work.
Are you sure? I think you just use it to procrastinate, right? It's a procrastination
Oh,
tool.
totally. Cleaning's out the window now. It's just knitting. So
We do have a question for
Ooh.
Diane.
What is
And
that
the
question?
question is, was there anything in particular that attracted you to the time period other than the awesome clothes?
that is a very big attraction. Well, it's a period in history that's not written about very much. It's kind of between times. There's the Civil War, Reconstruction, nothing, then World War One. So it's like the Gilded Age is just kind of, and it's a lot of things happen there, a lot of inventions, a lot of social change. So it's really intriguing once you dive into it. But I think it's glossed over a lot in literature, for sure. So
It's awesome. Good choice. I remember you talked about the orphan train, and I hadn't even heard of that before.
right.
So you want to tell a little bit about what the orphan train is?
Yeah, they took kids from basically the East Coast cities, and it's like busing, but it was a train, of course. I know, train them out. That doesn't work. They trained them out. They took them out to the Wild West, like Indiana or Nebraska, things like that. And they were adopted by families. A lot of people think of, they think about the orphan stories, or like Anne of Green Gables. Jane Eyre is an orphan story. I mean, but like Anne of Green Gables, she was adopted by a farm family. It was a lot of that kind of thing going on. And a lot of times it was a necessity for the farmers to have extra help. Not that they weren't cared for, but maybe they were, maybe they weren't. It's kind of a gamble for them. But
Well, so is parenthood. So that kind of.
Yeah, right. As parenthood always is, yes.
Yes,
So.
yes, for all of us, not just the children. Nice try, kids.
That's right.
We're gambling too.
Yeah.
So
there's an orphanage in my story, and that's why there's an orphan train.
Well, there's orphan train. It was fast. I had no idea about it. So you're right. There's a whole bunch of history that I just don't know about, and that was fascinating. I think the raffle is closed, so we need that drum roll. That was very clean. Off tune. I don't think I like one, tech guy.
Interesting.
Oh, you don't like the. Hold on. We need to go. We need to go back to this. You don't like the original EverQuest level up sound?
Not when it's that loud. It's very off tune.
Right.
It didn't sound like Dean. But yay, Kevin Petway won! Let's celebrate him instead. We'll fight later. Okay. Yay! So see, now Kevin Petway will get the copy. So there's a if you look underneath where it says who won, it tells you where to send your info. But I kind of already have Kevin Petway's info, but send it to me anyways because I'll forget. So so it's Florida Kevin won, yay! And then so we will send it your way. And maybe when book 2 comes out, we'll do your lunch here, Diane, and then
that would be awesome.
Wouldn't that be fun? All right. So yay, congratulations. So I know you're also giving away the first book in another series you have.
Yeah.
So that was called The Red String?
Yes.
And what can you tell us about that?
So The Red String is actually in the future. And it is more of a sci-fi fantasy, superhero style. This is about a girl named Ainsley who has epilepsy that's untreatable, and a doctor promises to cure her. And when he does, he implants a device in her brain that gives her a superpower. And there it goes.
You trade epilepsy for a superpower? I mean, that's a pretty good deal, I think.
Yeah, you'd think. Well,
and it's science fiction, so nothing's going to go wrong.
what could go wrong?
Did she know she was going to get this superpower, or is this a side effect she wasn't aware of?
It was a surprise, yeah. So
I have this one. I have not read it yet. I confess, it is in my to-be-read pile. So
there's more knitting in this one.
oh, there's red
If
string,
that's
right?
attraction too, yes, it definitely goes with that theme.
Yeah, one of our friends, Nicole, does a ton of knitting, so she might actually appreciate that. Like, she came to visit, and we're like, here's barbecue. Oh, in this great knitting store. Like, that's what we visited when she came.
Sweet. Oh, I've probably been to that store.
I was gonna say, if she lived here, we would have introduced y'all, and y'all would have hung out and had a great time.
Oh yeah, totally. Knitters unite.
Exactly. So I'm wondering, have you read any of Tarbin's False Prophet?
I have the first book.
Because I can't remember if I don't think I've read a lot of the second book into group.
I don't think so. I feel like there was one, oh no, it was a side project. Oh, sure.
No, you only brought in a couple chapters a couple of times, Kelly.
That's what I thought. Like the beginning. The beginning is always the hardest. I have the hardest time with beginnings, and especially with the book two, right? Yes. Like we talked about earlier, book two, how much do you put in, how much do you leave out? And these are, I mean, yours at least, it's an established world, and then you just add your parameters, right? Where with mine, it's completely made up world with completely new beginnings. Magic, everything is so different that I couldn't remember or I couldn't decide how much to add and how to leave out and what to put in. So the beginning for everyone who gets this book today, Tarbin's False Prophet, you're going to have lots of fun. Just know that this first chapter was like the 10th one I wrote because I wanted to make sure it was right just for you. So
that is how it goes.
It's funny how often you have to write that beginning. Do you have the same problem?
I do.
Yeah.
I think I've rewritten that first paragraph like a million times.
And we're not sending them to agents, right? We're doing it for you, the readers, because we love you. Yeah, Helen says beginning suck too. She's on our beginning suck train. Sometimes I just have to leave the sucky beginning and keep writing, otherwise I'll never finish.
Oh yeah.
I'll go back and fix it. Yeah.
My problem is never the beginning. My problem is like once I'm done with the beginning, because I love the beginning so much. I actually really love writing beginnings. It's like, well, the beginning is there, so do I really want to finish telling this story?
We should just co-write, and you write the beginning of all the books, and the middle we'll do together, and I'll write all the endings. We'll totally make this work.
I'm totally there for this.
Yeah, we could totally do this. Can make it work. Writers, creative solutions to everyday problems, right? That's what we need to do.
It's a community, and I like that.
Right, I like that too. People say, when they ask you the list of why did you want to be a writer, one of mine is always because I get to hang out with writers. It's so much fun.
It's good times.
So, what's your top number one reason to be a writer?
Oh, golly.
Maybe I should say to be an author. I don't know how much choice you have of being a writer, but how about
I know, it's like, because I can't not.
Yeah, right. That's writing. But authoring is different.
I gotta know what happens. That's why. Like, start a story, and you're like, I gotta write it, find out what happens. Then you start another story, and I gotta find out what happens. It's addictive. Just an addiction. It's another knitting project.
Just another one. Our addictions are just there for your entertainment.
Yeah.
So much fun. So, do you have any questions for me?
Well, I wonder how you enjoy writing female characters.
Oh,
is that your first go-to? Okay.
I do females. I have I have male characters, but not in first person, if that makes sense. So I still can get in and get their emotions. And I will tell you, however, the easiest character that I've ever written is Tannen, who is Talia's twin. So Talia is the main character in the series. Yeah. And Tannen is the twin, so it's boy-girl, right?
Yeah.
He's the bad guy, right? I'll say it in quotes because nothing is that simple, right? But the thing is, I have decided over time that what really makes him the bad guy is he is absolutely sure that he is right. He is absolutely sure of his path. He doesn't doubt himself. He doesn't consider other people's opinions. He doesn't, so here's the ironic part. So I love Talia, right? Like I love her and I love her process and what she goes through, and she's a much better leader in my personal opinion. But Tannen is so easy to write because if your characters know exactly what they want, exactly where they're going, and nothing nothing is going to stop them from their goal, it's so much easier to write.
That is so interesting. I really like that. I have these 2 books in the series, the first 2, I should say, are both 2 female protagonists. So I have Leona's main, and then her cousin, Clementine, is also a character, and she does a lot of growth in these books. And the third one, so this is just a playing around, but I think I'm stuck with it. But we're going to go with 2 guys' POVs in the third book. So, and I'm not finding it as difficult as I thought it would be. So,
well, you do have 2 sons.
I have 2 sons, and I grew up with 2 brothers, so maybe it is somewhere in there that I've observed enough. I don't know.
Gonna find out. Are you still writing them in first person? Because I know you write in first person.
Well, they're not. They're actually third person, but they're close. So close third.
Yep.
Yeah. So.
We do have a question in about 5 minutes. 4 minutes left now in our time. So the question is, if The Good Shepherd had the opportunity to be made into a movie, who would you want to direct it?
Oh,
that was from your number 1 son, by the way.
Okay. Hey, Aiden. Okay, so shout out. Who would I want to direct it? Oh wow. I mean, I'm not really big on knowing who's the director popular anymore. Well, okay, J.J. Abrams, hands down. But that's all I can say about that. So.
That would be a good one, especially book 2. There's so much action in it. He could take that one.
Totally.
Yep.
I think he's good with characters. So.
Exactly. He'll get the emotions and the action and balance it well. That's not a bad choice. It's awesome. Yeah, and Kevin Petway says he hates Tannen, but you love hating his guts. Good.
It's the one you love to hate. That's the best bad guy.
Yep. It totally works. I don't know. If I do my job, though, when you get book 2, you'll have a little more empathy for him, so we'll find out. Even though he does some despicable things, but not to him.
Because I have read some pieces of book 2, so I kind of like Tannen, but I haven't finished book 1 yet. So, like, maybe he's a total a-hole. I don't know, but I have appreciation for him at the moment. So we'll see if that holds out.
So we it'll hold out until the end. But we have one more book giveaway, so let's do that. Let's do the Red String.
Oh yeah.
Let's do the ebook for Red String. So we're going to do the same thing. So we'll wait until that pops up on the screen, and then you hit bang raffle or exclamation point raffle. It is up, and so as you enter, same as before. So hopefully you'll win a copy of this one. And this series is complete, isn't it?
It is. There are 3 books: the Red String, the Red Cloak, and the Red Knot.
So that one you can just eat them up.
You can.
And they're nice and thin and quick paced. So, and again, this is all YA safe. So I know I have some fans out there that have younger ones they like to give them to. These are all safe for them. So we made sure, since these are safe. Now my collector series, not safe. Not safe. It's still great for older high school, but I wouldn't give them to middle school kids. Water. I'm gonna have to get like a fancy glass or something.
I have to show off mine. Can I show off mine?
Of course
This is my night circus. I don't know if you can see it.
That's so cool. So did you use that like as an
French.
inspiration for this book too? Because I know there's a circus.
I did. It's a circus.
So cool.
Oh yeah. There's this character named Madame Celia who's pretty much named after Celia from the Night Circus. So
That's really
my
cool.
little homage. Now you know.
Now I know.
Secrets.
Things you know. It's always the extra bonus.
Easter eggs. Yeah.
So remember, if anyone is trying to enter and they can't type, that's because you have to log in. So make sure to log in. And anyone watching this on YouTube later, all of the links are below the video. So you can look below the video, any of these books that you think are really your thing or you want to go check them out. It's right underneath the video and you can log right in and say, yes, that was fun. I think I would like that one.
And what else do you want to do? You want to also follow this channel. Just go ahead and click that little heart button there in the top right corner.
Please follow. Yeah, we need 50. I think we're at 30. So we're close. We're really close. We only need 50. We're not trying to, get 9,000.
Well, I mean, 9,000 would be nice.
Let's do it.
That's not.
Not gonna turn it away.
But, everyone has to start somewhere, right?
We have to start somewhere. Exactly. Ooh, Helen follows our YouTube channel too. Thanks, Helen. Over 9,000. So, yeah, I think we should be calling Helen about now. So we are just waiting to see who won the red string. So what's your next project?
I am right now working on book 3. So waiting for all the edits to get done for the second book, and then we can, and the cover to be finished. So
are you using the same cover artist?
I am, and I'm pretty excited. So he's
so
doing a great job.
All right, raffle is now closed. Let's see who our winner is. Winner. Chicken dinner was yesterday, so I don't know what we're gonna have today. We have not eaten. We were so nervous to go live. So we'll eat later. Food overrated. I have stores. It's fine.
Where's the drum roll?
Yay! Friday I'm pretty sure. No, that's too right. Too long.
Yeah.
No, it's not one too loud. It's too long.
Long.
Oh, Friday, you're gonna love, especially with your young reader. It's perfect for you. Friday, you are Jennifer, right? I get confused. Pretty sure. I remember everyone's name. It's confusing, Let's see. Yay! All right. So what's gonna happen is if you send your email address to the captain. Yes, it is Jennifer. I knew it. She's awesome. She loves Tarbin too, so she's gonna love Red String. So if you just send your information to the Captain Wyvern at cursed-dragonship.com, and we'll make sure Diane gets it so that she can send it out to you. So yes, and all the writers, we are going to send you all the stuff. So we'll take care of that. Kevin, can you make sure Helen isn't frozen? So, all right. So we're going to take a few more minutes before we bring Helen on.
Thank you, Diane. It was
Yay.
so good night.
Hanging with you all.
You could bring Anne back on for a minute if you want.
Oh.
Anne's like, hold on, let me quit picking my nose. I'm doing a very good job of touching my face. Kevin, Florida Kevin once said that he discovered that if the safety of the world depended on him not touching his face for 5 minutes, we'd all be dead. And oh my gosh, that is so me. I cannot keep my hands off my face.
Or I have my hair down instead of in a ponytail. I can't stop flipping it from one side to the next. So yes.
There's always something, man. Always something. Yes, and the ebooks. So anybody looking for the ebooks in any of these, Diane does have them all in ebook form. We're going to put links up so that you can see where to get them as well. So that our tech guy is just trying to fix a problem right now. So welcome to technology, right? There's always something going on.
Next, I spazzed on camera. Oh God, no.
So,
what happened?
Oh, I don't know what happened.
Uh-oh.
Oh shoot.
Oh, now we're all curious. This is called live TV, people.
Mystery.
Oh no.
We are live. This proof.
This is drama in action.
That's right.
Oh no. Am I on again?
You are on. Hello, beautiful Helen.
Had issues.
It's all good. Look at that. There you are.
Okay.
With your clever book placement. I'm so impressed.
Yes.
My book and your book together on the shelf. All right. Thank you, Diane. We'll see you next time. All right. So we have Helen. Welcome. We're so glad to see you.
Nice to you guys too.
Excited to join us. As you see, remember I said earlier, it's fun to hang out with writers. Yeah, I wasn't kidding. I also got to beta read Helen's book, and it's awesome. I will not only say that, did I get to read it the first time, and it was rough because I got news for you. All of ours the first time are rough.
Yeah.
And it was rough. So I'm reading it again. I'm like, oh my God, it's so good. You did an awesome job, Helen. So it's
essentially a different book, which I probably shouldn't admit.
No, that's good, but that's how we learn, right? So it's incredible. So actually, this is a note for all you writers out there. You write that book and you're like, this thing is garbage. You might be right. Nevertheless, hand it to friends that you trust, right? Like Helen did with me, and she beta read one of mine too. And then have them go through it. And then just remember, anything they say is not an attack on you. If what they say is an experience with their writing and reading, right? And then you go through and then you make that book amazing. And that's exactly what Helen did. So keep that in mind too. And of course, it wasn't like just my feedback. There's beta readers, you know.
Phoenix Girls extensively beta read.
Yes. So, but good job, man. It's just incredible.
Well,
hey, Kevin.
If you allow me, Kelly, I would like to officially
sorry.
Helen this evening.
I got too excited.
I know, and I don't want to stop you, but I want everyone to know
who I'm talking to.
Helen.
Okay.
So let me go ahead and officially introduce her. Yes. Helen Saver writes fantastical worlds filled with a mixture of modern and medieval settings. She explores stories loosely based on
Camelot.
I think there's some technical difficulties here. Legends, secretly wishing that King Arthur would return to pull the world from the brink of darkness. An engineer by day and a gamer when time allows, this paper ninja writes, reads, plays with pens and paper RPGs, and folds origami. That is very cool. It's not surprising that her stories are filled with unexpected fold twists that blend seamlessly with reality. Very good. And I'd like to say that when I practiced this, because I did practice this earlier, I could say that word, and then of course when we got here I couldn't say that word. So
it's all good.
Live TV, that's what they're paying for, man.
Absolutely.
Well, they're paying, right? No, they're not.
You don't have ad revenue yet, I think.
No, we don't need ad revenue. We just want people to see these awesome books, right? We want people to see these awesome books. And you'll notice how clever Helen is, by the way, that she has my book, Tarbin's True Air, behind her, and her book, The Phoenix Grail, right next to it. How clever is that?
They're buddies.
I like it. It's very clever. So, give me the pitch for The Phoenix Grail.
Oh, man, I should have the update right in front of me. Oh.
You can do it. You can do it.
I really am having technical issues. My phone just failed on me, which isn't helping.
Oh
no. So it is in part of that description here. Isn't the world kind of messed up? And I don't mean this because of everything that's going on right now. I kind of thought it was already. Don't we want a magical reason to explain that away? Is it King Arthur maybe a good person to come back? They said he's coming back, and it's like, wait, you didn't come back for all these world wars. You didn't come back for this disease. What's it going to take to bring you back? So we're going to start bringing him back. But, we got to have a bigger catastrophe to do that. And we need to have some things in place to do that.
Well, I think 2020 is trying really hard to bring Arthur back.
It is. I'm feeling kind of bad about some of the books. There are some things that are supposed to be based on the magic. I'm like, I got to rip that out. It's just hitting too close.
It feels too real right now.
Yeah.
They always say truth is stranger than fiction, and when you know that this very, very true. So awesome. Well, I'm excited to read that. Mm-hmm. So I know that the world imagining of King Arthur legends, and so why did you choose this universe?
I mean, I just love the legends. I think it's the world's earliest fan fiction, actually. Everybody's built on it. I mean, some of these stories are from 400, from the year like 400s, and we still are working on that today. What we know of as Arthur is different for each one of us, and I know that's storytelling in general, but it's funny that this legend a few key points, and then it branches off so wildly. So.
Yeah, it's a good choice. I mean, every time you read it, and you always find people trying to find the real king. And that's fascinating, right? Because you just learn about history, and you learn about all of these fun things. So, I can understand the fascination. I've always been fascinated with it too. Mm-hmm. And like there's fan fiction. That's brilliant. It's with so many people writing over and over again. Like they said at the beginning, it didn't have the whole Holy Grail religious element, right? And then that was added later, right?
So many things added later.
So cool.
One of my buddies is like, at least tell me Lancelot's not in it. I'm like, probably not for a few books. He's the French Legends. I get that. Well, maybe later. Lancelot's gonna be fun. Trust me, book 4 will be fun. But not in the original stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty cool. You could do it like a short side story, you know, like a free story at the beginning.
Oh, there's plans. There's so much I can work with. The cast of characters is stupid large, and I've combined it with other legends. Like, I really like the Celtic versions. So kind of pulling on some of the fairies, Oberon, Titania, and stuff like that has been really neat.
Nice. Yeah. It was a lot of fun. I was like you in a so that's the question. So like I said, when you see lots of videos and stuff and you look at King Arthur and you see what's real and what wasn't real and no one can agree. What kind of research did you do before you chose to go about this?
I mean, just read a bunch of books, and it's not always probably the right books I should have read. I can't read the Once and Future King. I just can't do it, which is awful. It seems like it's very preeminent, but it's fun to just kind of read some of the other versions. There is a great, it's one of the great courses. There's a history on King Arthur there, Audible. It's wonderful. I give it away sometimes for things. I'm not saying that is the only place, but if you want to get a good kind of capturing of all the sources, it's there, and it's so fun.
Nice. That's a good call. Those great courses are amazing.
Yeah, they're awesome. That's half the reason I keep Audible.
You're like, I must have it.
Yes.
So in Tarbin's False Prophet, Tannen finds religion of the old gods and finds his new mission to stop Talia. So religion is a very strong component in book 2. So that's why it's called False Prophet, right? Now, I call him False Prophet because Tannen and thousands of others don't think he's a false prophet, right? You know, Tannen, they believe him, but from Talia's point of view, he's a false prophet. So in the King Arthur legend, it's dripping with religious subtext. So and a lot of the themes, and again, like we said, it was added later, but it's just dripping with it. So my question is, how did you use religion in your story? Did you use it? Did you leave it out? What did you do?
So the first one, we're talking about a grail, trying to find the grail. It's a different type of grail, though, but they do actually kind of intersect with the Christianic ones, because that's the one we're thinking about. And there's a fun scene where it's like, wait, is it maybe not just overloaded, this grail? Are they actually two distinct ones? And I'm not answering that right now. It's book 1. And how is religion when there are real gods? But what makes a real god? And that's kind of a thing that's going to be explored later in the series. So the creation story I have here is there's just 2 gods, Oberon and Titania, and Oberon came to create everything, and Titania gave us time to move things forward. Oberon's a creator. He smiths things. I kind of pulled on some Smith's legends that too. So he kind of delegates creation duties a little bit from that, but not, not life anymore. He broke his ability to create life, and that's why, there's this idea. They created kind of this phoenix, which is tied to humanity, to gather all those lives to fuel all the other creations he made. So there's, if gods can lose their powers, are they really gods?
That's a cool theme. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I always think about Stargate when they're like, they're aliens, they're not gods. I'm like, but they're all powerful. As far as I'm concerned, that's as close to God as you're going to get. What are you talking about? So they always had that argument.
I want to say so bad, and I can't because it's so many books away from now. But let's talk about this in 10 years.
We'll talk about it soon. Let's see. And how many books do you have out now?
I have 3 out right now. The Phoenix Grail and the Sword and the Throne are part of a 3-book series. It's not a trilogy, it's a 3-book series, which is the modern kind of recoming of Arthur. It's called the Phoenix Succession. That's where we see what pulls him back and what that means to bring Arthur back, which is combined with this kind of Phoenix entity stuff. I also have books that are considered more standalones in the universe. I call them Phoenix Forge, Fairy Forge Chronicles. And I have the first one out for that, which is Lady Leaves the Lake. So that is a Lady of the Lake legend. I decided, she gives the sword to Arthur. What if she made the sword? And I love Yvain so much. This kind of badass smith. No, I'm just kind of giving away my weaponry and saying, Arthur, you got this.
That's awesome. So makes it more complicated.
Oh, yeah.
Question: you see a Kevin Petway, he just said, and you know Kevin too, so that's kind of cool.
Yes.
He said that once him and his wife went to a costume party where the hosts were dressed as Guinevere and Arthur. Kevin and Lena dressed as Guinevere and Lancelot.
Yeah, do you have pictures from that? That'd be fun. Book, my 4th book coming out, which got a little bit caught up, unfortunately, with COVID timing with edits. Camelot Crumbles. We are going to see Lancelot there finally. Lancelot, Arthur, and Guinevere are going to be there, and it's not what you expect, but maybe it is. I had so much fun with that one.
The first shipping of all history. See, like you said,
Yeah.
fanfic, right? First shipping, man.
Yeah. Which side are you on?
Well, we
I
know
won't
which side
tell.
Kevin Petway's on.
Yep, I got that.
So let's see. So you touched on a little bit. Oh, and another folk singer says that he loves the Lady of the Lake idea.
Oh, great.
So,
Check it out.
Yeah, it's a very clever. Since we're talking about it, why don't we go ahead and give away the first ebook?
Oh, sure. Yes. I
So
think
let's
Phoenix
give away-
Grail, we said, right?
Yep. So let's give away the ebook first. So we're gonna do the Phoenix Grail ebook. So it's just like before, and you'll just do the pound raffle when it comes up. So wait until you see it. You'll see it at the bottom, and then you could just take exclamation point raffle. There you go. So it's live now. So just put exclamation point raffle, and you will be entered to win the ebook. And welcome anyone who is trying to enter who can't. Remember, you do need to log in. So it is free. It costs you nothing. So you can log in to win. So I'm asking that question while they're doing that. Quick question.
Okay.
So in Phoenix Grill, you have Fae and humans. So you touched
Yes.
a little bit on Faes. What's the relationship? How are they?
Everything was created by Oberon. Fae have they're more powerful. They don't have mortality the same way humans do. They're not going to age. They're not going to break down. Their body's created when they inhabit it. That's it. But Oberon didn't like that. It's like when they're dead, they're gone. So we created the cycle of reincarnation, and that's fueled by humans' lives. They're kind of like, I need more life, so you guys kind of go breed up some life to fuel my other creations.
Just for the record, I'm seeing cannibalism. I know that's not what it is, but that's totally what I saw just now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not directly eating. It's, there's a way that energy is kind of redirected. That's that Phoenix entity that can, it's actually kind of a forced on thing, redirecting the dead human energy over to the Fae and reincarnating them over time. But that wears you down. And that's just where it goes back to the world's getting worse and worse. Something is causing that because we need more human lives because the Fae are dying faster and faster. Like I said, I want a magical reason, and I know it doesn't make sense. I know there's real reasons things are bad, but I just want some magic that we can solve.
I think that's fair. That's why it's called fantasy, right?
Yeah.
That's why the whole thing exists, so we can escape it. So no, that's a great reason. And we had my daughter had this incident and she was very upset about it. And we were trying to solve it. I'm like, see, here's the problem. I want it to be your fault because then we can solve it because you can control your actions.
Yeah.
But it wasn't her fault. It was not, she had nothing to do. And it's like, so we cannot solve. So that's the nice part, right? So if you have that kind of thing, it could be like, if it's magic's fault, we can solve it.
Yes, exactly.
So, I actually like that a lot. I can see writing in under that theme. I think it might be why we like magic. We have more power, not just literally, but figuratively as well. So.
Now I'm going to jump in here because I wrote a note as we were going through this that I believe it was Helen that wanted to have or had a story about beginnings that she wanted.
Okay. So I hate beginnings, and I decided to punish myself because Camelot Crumbles, the 4th book, like I said, is it's like Groundhog's Day. You repeat the beginning again and again and again. Or you could say I took every time to get it right. Can I point? It's actually more of a Majora's Mask ripoff, but not everybody is a gamer and understands that because it is way darker than Groundhog Day. And you're wearing different masks, essentially, with different people in that one.
Huh. That's fascinating.
Done. I want to talk about it some more. That's my favorite book right now.
And you hate beginnings, so that's kind of ironic, isn't it?
I know. It's like, wow, I just really basically worked on beginnings until I couldn't stand it anymore. My engineer likes the timeline aspect. Everything had to line up to make sense except for the changes that happened each iteration. So there's a math to it that was really fun. But yeah, starting each one was awful.
It's not my favorite. So, and we have, different perspectives, so it gets complicated. Oh, I think our raffle is done. Yay! So let's see who won. Oh, that was perfect. Perfect timing. Oh, I didn't see it. Who is it? Yay! Jennifer won! Congratulations! So again, when you send that information, remind me you won Helen's book too, and we'll make sure, and Helen will get you the email so you can send it to her. So yay! So excited. All right. So we're doing the different perspectives, right? The different perspectives, they've gotten so complicated because now I'm working on book 3. So at the beginning, Tally and Tannen, right? So you've been through this now, right? So it's Tally and Tannen, a little bit of someone else, not a big deal. Book 2, it's Talia and Tannen and a couple of other people, not huge. Well, by book 3, I've got like 7 different perspectives.
Oh yeah, doesn't that get complicated? Oh my goodness. I've purposely limited my POVs to just a few people, even though there's so many other folks. I'm like, I will get you in another book. I can't have your voice in my head right now. Oh, also, if I can be obscure, that kind of other POV, I actually thought that might have been related to the title of book 2, and then I finished book 1. I'm like, oh, okay, that's not that. I was trying to guess too hard.
You're like, this didn't work. This is not.
No, I thought it was that. No.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, book 2. The challenge with book 2 is part of it kind of ended. So those of you who didn't think book 1 ended very satisfactorily, I totally agree with you, but I didn't want to write you a 250,000 page or word book. So book 2 rounds it out. So it finishes nicely. So that's why, and at the end of that, I added another chapter. And that shows you what could be for book 3, right? So that shows you the story feels done, but it's not. So there's a brand new character who, isn't it fun to write new characters? Like, it was so exciting writing this new character. So I think I'm going to have to write their storylines separately and then just
combine them.
Yeah.
So are you saying kind of you get to the end of your book 2 and you made it more final, but there's a third book coming up? So book 1 and book 2, were those kind of the same? Should they have been combined if it wasn't for, word limit links?
Yes, I think it would have been a more satisfactory read if it was combined. So all you people who have been waiting for book 2, you're going to be happy now. You can just read book 1, book 2, and have a much more happy. Does that make sense? It's just more satisfying at the end.
I hate to admit it, I feel that way about Phoenix Grail and Sword in the Throne. At one point, they were combined, and some people mentioned, like, I could tell. I'm like, it would have been too big. I would have had to gloss over too many things. So I split it. But once I've been like, should I bundle 1 and 2 instead of 1, 2, and 3? Because 3 feels like it's another book, a much more than 2 is. So, I guess we learn as we progress.
Yep, makes sense to me. So we talked a lot about your origami earlier, and you have some amazing things. You've been doing like multiple cranes a day or something.
Yeah,
look
I
at
should
the
show
night.
you a crane instead of that. I decided to do a crane a day for while I'm in quarantine. Granted, I'll probably keep going now that I've got my crane a day going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have meetings I can do them in anymore, or like when I'm awkwardly waiting for something to happen in the office.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I've also been working on some other stuff. Did I get it up to the camera well?
The night.
This is a night. I've been trying to work on some forms that actually would fit well with my books, and I might have a secret project that's coming out with that. I think we're raffling a night too, or did I change my mind on that?
Nope,
a night in your choice of paper, so it's not going to be this night because I don't know if you want gold. But I've got a lot of great paper that we can have fun with.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So if you give me a second, we will set that second raffle.
And we do have another question.
Oh, okay.
So the question is, Helen, have you ever written a mean, bad character where you really got into their head and as a result you didn't like writing them because the way they affected your thoughts?
I mean, I didn't go full Heath Ledger and Batman in The Dark Knight, which maybe I shouldn't bring that up. That was awful thing. He did great. But yeah, some of these
got into it. You're right. Some
of these characters can really bring you down. I knew kind of the downward trajectory for someone and having to write it through to the end. Oh, I probably shouldn't say it. Right through to a satisfying conclusion was a bit painful, but I was glad to sunset. I was glad to kind of sunset that and move on to some more obvious villainry. Although I won't say I don't think quite as annoying as Tannen, but you can tell me when you guys read the book. Tannen is really good at being an asshole.
Really
so that one I actually feel much better. It's like this one is a little bit more obviously there. I'm like, okay, it's clearly I can get into a different headspace, but one of these is just so tragic. The one thing I say about book one is that you can kind of explore where you are in the hero's journey. Somebody's starting, just discovered the world, someone who's been kind of prophesized to do something, and someone who is, you know what, they've almost outlived it. You know, I hate to say long enough to become the villain. I didn't think of it that way, but you know, they're tired. The prophecy didn't run out for them. So seeing the hero's journey from 3 different perspectives was kind of really hard to write for the first few books.
Ooh. It's quite a journey. Don't forget to hit bang raffle for that origami night. So we got it started. So hit bang raffle or exclamation point raffle. And sorry, I live with the tech guy, which Helen understands. She's a tech girl. So
yep,
I
engineered by day.
See, I tend to use tech terms and then forget when people don't know them. I don't know enough of them, so sometimes I forget which ones are which, right? Yeah, she nailed it, didn't she, Kevin? That was a great answer, he says. So good job.
Oh, thanks.
Yes. I'm afraid I tend to argue with my characters more than anything because I'm a plotter, so I have an outline, and I want them to do this.
Yeah.
So instead of like getting into their head and them actually changing me, instead I just get mad at them because they're not doing what I want them to because I wanted it. But you know when it doesn't work, right? You start procrastinating, you're not writing so much, there's no flow. Then you know, okay, something is wrong. And for me, that usually means I'm trying to make them do something they wouldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have that literal characters talking to me, right? I know some people do, I don't. But I do have that. When I just can't write, it's not really writer's block. It's just I've made some wrong choices. So I need to back up and figure out where I lost it. So that happens a lot.
Not similar. I've actually been trying to shift my writing style. I was very planning, plot-driven in the beginning. I'm not kidding. I'm a systems engineer. I'm all about designing things. And I was running into those kind of blockages. So I kind of got my outlines lighter and lighter to the point where I think I've got like a really basic beat sheet. And that's what I'm doing with with the new book that I'm writing right now. Not Camelot Crumbles, Accepting the Mantle. And I know where I had to hit at a high level, and it's flowing so nice. I just did a chapter I didn't even know I needed, and it made me cry. It's like, this is the best chapter I've ever written.
Awesome.
And I'm just, I don't know what to do after that. And it sucks that I couldn't write for a few days because of work stuff after that.
It's Twitch. You can curse. It's okay. Awesome. So, yes. Let's see. Jennifer says that the characters are like kids, and Florida Kevin agrees. Disobedient children.
Well, I'm still learning about that. I'm looking over here because I'm looking at my monitor. I'm like, just stay asleep, kid.
He's too little to be bad yet. It'll come, though. It'll come.
I know. That's what I'm afraid of.
Let's see. So, is the raffle closed? It is closed. Let's see who won the awesome origami night. Who won this night? Choose your paper. Yay! Friday won again! Ooh. This is your night, Friday.
A book and a night.
Look at that. You're winning all the prizes. We are so happy for you. Mm-hmm. You deserve it. You are always here for us, so thank you. Yay! I'm telling you, it is random. We have nothing to do with it. So, yes. That's awesome. So, again, just send your information. Do you have the papers? Do you want to choose now, or do you want to do that? You can
talk offline. Like, I mean, I have different colors and patterns. I mean, if you have a thought, I'll find a pattern. If not, I'll just take pictures for you.
Okay. So I will send you her info. And she loves fantasy, so she's going to love your book too. So that'll work. So,
purple.
Now you have an also origami. Oh, she's got plenty of purple, trust me.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So we have like a minute. So what I want to do that I forgot to with Diane, and I feel really bad, but we'll put it up on YouTube, so it'll be there, is if, just in case they don't go to YouTube and see it, where can people follow you?
Twitter is where, well, Twitter's kind of fed up right now. Instagram, if you want to actually see my origami pictures, will be really fun. But my Facebook or my Twitter is where I'm going to be talking more professional writer stuff.
And what's your username?
Oh, hell, sorry. I'm a paper ninja on Twitter, and I think that might be the same for Instagram. Helen Sabor on Facebook.
Perfect. So anyone who wants to follow her, please go there. We'll put her, he's got it up there too. Streamlabs has it. And then your newsletter, I think, is up there as well.
Oh, great.
Oh, no,
awesome.
that's the link to buy your book. So we have the link to buy your book in there. So
I think
if you weren't as, sorry.
Sorry, I think I goofed up the link when I created the thing. My apologies. I have a newsletter link for you as well.
Okay, it's fine.
It'll all work.
It's
Just
all
click
good.
on the thing. So our webpage is on there, and then you also have if you want to purchase her book, you can go to the books to read one. So if you weren't as lucky as Jennifer, I don't know, Jennifer, you need a lottery ticket at this point.
Yeah.
Then you can just go there, and all her books are there.
Nope. We already bought the winning one for tonight, so it's cool. Don't buy one.
The lottery ticket?
Yes.
I was gonna say the winning book. I'll give you guys another book.
What are you talking about? I have the book. I'm reading it right now.
I think if we all go in on this lottery ticket with Jennifer, then we might actually have a chance.
That's right. I mean, Jennifer loves to read. I'm sure she'd love to help finance a publishing company. We can make this work, right, Jennifer? You can be a partner in this. Yep. Yeah. Well, we're blessed that you're here, so thank you. Let's see. So we have. What do I have? Oh, that's the beta thing I already talked about because I was so excited. So I think that was the last question I had. Do you have any questions for me? We're at the end, so you don't have to be too creative.
No, it's I'll admit I was only recently finally reading book 1, so I'd be ready for book 2. But I mean, how did you get through how you kind of structured the it's not depressiveness, but how oppressive some things in the kingdom were? I had a hard time reading some of that stuff. Granted, I mean, being a female engineer in a very masculine world, I'm going to feel a lot. I mean, it's not the scale that Talia was going through, but I was like, you got skills. Run away, go do something fun. Oh, you're trying to be noble and serve your kingdom. But gosh, how hard was that to write? Just place after place, turn over turn. Just how bad it was.
And just never stopping. See, I originally wrote it like, a general trope where she was just going to be that runaway princess, right? She's like, no, I don't want to do this. How dare you? And I'm just going to go do this. And the problem is it just didn't work for me. And it didn't work for her because she still wanted to serve her people.
Yeah.
She wanted to serve her people. She was raised that way. She believed in them. She cared for them. She thought that was her duty and her birthright and something that she had to do. Just like we have to write, right? Like we don't have a choice. We have to write. If we weren't public, I wish we didn't revise so much, but we do have to write. And so that was her. She had to serve. She had no choice.
So noble to get through all that stuff. And,
right.
As we saw how her brothers, it's like, oh, she's got to do that too, not just because it's the right. She's got to not let that kid rule this thing.
Right. And it totally ends up like that. Totally.
Yeah, no. I have some ideas, but I look forward to how you actually play that out. Like I said, you already smashed a few things by the end of the book. I should stop predicting stuff. I should just enjoy the story.
Oh, I can't help it. I do it too.
Okay.
if y'all could see my the tech guru's face right now on Skype, he's nodding with a knowing look because it drives him crazy when we watch movies and TV, and I know exactly what's going to happen. It drives him batty. I'm like, well, what else would happen when you're a writer and when you've been raised on stories, an avid reader, you kind of know where it's going to end, which is why when I do have a story that surprises me, it's like the best thing ever. It's so hard to surprise me. So
I do that with my husband too. We're in the theater watching Spider-Man: Homecoming, and things. He's like, "There's no way you can." I'm like, "No, I knew that."
Yeah, see, I did too. My daughter was so mad. My daughter was like, "You've got to watch this." We finally watched on DVR, and I did the same. Right? It was obvious.
Yeah,
and so
of course.
I was like,
"How could you not see that?"
She was so mad. She was like, "No, you were not supposed to figure that out." The part that those people who see us figuring things out don't understand is that that's fun for us. So it's not that we now don't like the story anymore, right? It's not like, oh, it's spoiled for us and we don't like it. There's still the journey is still so much fun. So, yeah. Awesome. Well, Helen, you've been amazing. So we're pulling up Cheryl.
Bye, guys.
We're on.
Folks.
I'm trying to give you a heads up, but
All
I can't
right.
talk.
I didn't get the heads up.
I don't what happened last time. He was on it last time. He's so today. See, it's because we didn't eat dinner first. We should have eaten dinner. It's our fault. Our brains, like, we need food.
Mm-hmm.
Nina feels the same way. See, exactly, but right? It's like when you live with a writer, a storyteller, or, you know, a creator, we just tend to figure it out.
Yeah.
Which is why it's hilarious when we're actually writing things and we can't figure it out. We're like, this doesn't work.
I mean, you always see you can't see your own work the same way you see other people's work. You don't have that, distance to help you see it.
Yes, that is exactly true, which is why even professional writers still need editors.
Yes.
Always, always, always. Yay! All right, we have Cheryl on. Can we hear you, Miss Cheryl?
Yeah, I think so.
Yay! All right, thank you so much, Helen. You were awesome. I can't wait to see that origami night. You'll have to take a picture and post it on our page to get it made for Jennifer, and that'll be so cool.
Okay.
Thank you very much. We'll get Cheryl, and this time I'll be good, and I'll let Anne do her job. Anne?
Oh, so you're ready for me this time?
I am. See, I can.
Well, this is Cheryl, or as she likes to go by, C.A. Baker. She is a fantasy and sci-fi author with a not-so-secret identity as a college professor and an editor. In South Carolina, she spends her free time with her family, gardening, and taking care of her many animals. I'm going to also guess that if she's in South Carolina, she drinks sweet tea, but that's just a guess.
Yeah, mostly sweet tea, but sometimes I have to have half and half because here, sweet tea, if you get it full sweet like most people have it, it is literally syrup. So, yeah.
Oh, yes. I've been to South Carolina, and I've had a sweet tea, and it is sweet.
Very much so. Very much so.
Did I ever tell this story? I don't know if my mom is still on, but I was born in Charleston, South Carolina.
Oh, okay.
So, and we lived there in the military base for a
I
year.
love Charleston.
So I love it too. We're actually visiting in August, so that's fun. Maybe if I drive by you somewhere, we can have lunch or something.
Hey, yeah, we can do that.
Right? It'll be fun. And so when we left Charleston, so sweet tea everywhere, right? We left Charleston and we moved to Chicago. So I spent the next 10 years of life in Chicago. There, you don't get sweet tea in Chicago. You get unsweet, and then you have sweetener if you want to sweeten it, right?
Yeah.
Well, we'd gotten so used to that, we went back to Charleston to visit, and we just went through a drive-thru. I think it was like a Hardee's. Of course, it had to be a Hardee's, right? And Mom just ordered tea. She didn't specify what kind because you don't specify up north. There's only one kind. And then she asked for sweetener. And so they gave her tea. She sweetened it, and then she took a sip and almost died.
Starts gagging. Oh my god, that would be so sweet, especially if like you wanted like Splenda or something as well. Like that's like 10 times sweeter. Oh my god.
Yeah. I always remember that. See, there's my mom. Do you remember that story, Mom? I always remember that story. The funny thing is, I was a child at that time, right? So you know that we can take the sweetness a lot more than older. So I was like, I'll just drink this one. You can drink mine.
Yeah, really. I know. I have to split it in half nowadays, but I used to, drink it full on straight sweet. And even when we make it at home, it's like a cup of sugar to a gallon of at least a cup. I think my grandmother used to make it with like 2 cups for a gallon of tea. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
We like our sweetenings, man. Yay! All right. So, older? Who's older? I don't know. My 2 moms are saying older, so I must have said something wrong. I'm so sorry. Did I say I was older? I was younger then. I'm old now. Of course, you know what that makes them. So, question, Miss Cheryl. So you have a fantasy book, and it's epic fantasy like mine. So we're in the same genre now. Yes. And so Treaty and Treason is book 1.
It is, yeah.
And what would you, if you were in a bookstore describing Treaty and Treason, what would you say?
I would say it's high fantasy court intrigue. So we've got all of the royals and nobles and political intrigue and kind of backstabbing and plots and plans going on. And then getting into some action here and there. So, yeah.
Can I just say, I thought you were always nice, Cheryl, but your face lit up when you said backstabbing.
Backstabbing. Well, so if if all of the characters are a tiny piece of us, maybe that's exploring that avenue there without actually having to live it. But yeah, it's actually kind of interesting because this book took me down a completely different path than the normal high fantasy that I had written before. Because this one's not very high magic. There is magic in the world, but it has more to do with the people and the relationships that they have, whether good or bad, and also just the kingdom structures of the world itself and how those play out and either rub each other the wrong way or try to work together, or and you know how social structures as well work out. So I get to play around with a lot of social structures and different political systems and try to kind of see how they would either work with other political systems and social structures or whether they would completely disagree. So it's fun.
It's fun to explore, right? When we see our social structures getting along or not getting along, and so it's kind of fun to explore it in a different realm because it's really not that different. So,
yeah, very much.
And then here comes magic.
I know, just a little bit. There's a little bit in this world. It has a much higher cost than most of the worlds that I've read and written. So, and it's I don't know if anybody likes talking about magic systems, but my magic system ended up being very like deity based.
Okay.
So the only people that really do magic in that world, besides items that have magic attached to them, which is rare, the people that do magic usually are priests, priestesses, devotees of something that grants them that power.
Well, that seems fair, right?
Yeah.
There has to be a cost. So
there has to be a cost, and it's usually a very physical cost as well. Because I mean, you're taking something divine and filtering it through a physical shell. It's going to burn you out eventually if you don't, if you use it too much.
Too much.
Yeah.
It'll be important.
Very much so.
Let's see. In Tarbin's False Prophet, Talia has to fight for her right to lead as a princess in her kingdom. So we talked about that a little bit with Helen, right? So she has to fight it because she has a very patriarchal society. But I read, so I have not finished Treaty and Treason, but I did begin it, and I see that it's perfectly natural for the eldest female child to inherit the crown. So to inherit the crown. I was wondering why you decided to do that.
Well, it is. I wanted to juxtapose that, like it being perfectly fine for her to succeed her father, to rule their people. I wanted to put that in direct opposition with the rest of the continent because all of the other kingdoms don't.
So cool.
And all of the other kingdoms don't value female people at all. Like they just don't. So there's a lot of stuff that character, or that the main character Niva has to go up against because of that. Because the larger power on the continent, the empire, which basically controls all of the rest of the kingdoms in a treaty agreement, is finally coming after the one kingdom that didn't get captured long ago. So her kingdom. So that empire's coming up saying, hey, we want you to be part of us, and here's the cost, and here's the price. But here's what you get in return. And also, we're not going to kill all of you. So there's that. So
extra bonus, you won't all die.
Extra bonus, you won't all die. So yeah, she's up against a very, very powerful force that will get what he wants one way or another. Either she can play nice and get a lot out of it and still pay the cost, or she can not play nice and it's going to cost them in blood. So there's a lot of struggle there. And book 2, I'm already writing book 2. I'm deep into it, and it's going to be some culture shock mainly because she leaves her kingdom at that point. But anyway, so you're going to get to see a lot of the other places, but I don't want to spoil book 1 for anybody, but yeah, I get to see a lot of the other kingdoms and see what their pitfalls are as far as socially and governmentally. So it's very neat exploring them. I did base most of the kingdoms off of real world historical areas. Not completely, but a lot of them were inspired by real world historical areas.
Why make it up? It's there.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that spin though. So you have the girl, so it's kind of like, because you have a son right now, right? So, but I have a son and a daughter. So it's kind of like if my daughter always sees the world as equal, and then she leaves my house and then realize, wait, it's not equal. What's up with that? So I kind of like that. Usually we see it the other way. So I kind of like it. She's like, well, of course we're equal. I don't understand. What is this? So that's
it becomes very difficult for the main character, for Niva, especially because she has, obviously if you were raised in an area where you were treated as an equal, and then suddenly you come face to face with people who want to demean you to a certain level that you're not used to, it becomes very abrasive and very hard to deal with. So there's a lot of that too. I know a lot of what went into designing her kingdom was actually studying like ancient Celtic Brehon law and stuff like that. Even though, women weren't exactly equal there either, but just kind of taking inspiration from that and kind of there had been, if they had worked their way to equality within that system, so it's kind of an inspiration there.
That's pretty fun. It's amazing how the Celtics keep giving. They keep giving. So since we're talking about it, why don't we give away our first ebook copy of Treaty and Treason?
Sure, let's do it.
Yes. All right. So we'll give that away. Our tech guru will get it all set up, and we will make the magic happen. So it's just like before. It's bang raffle or exclamation point raffle, and we'll get that in. There you go. So if everyone enters, and we'll give that away. I'm gonna tell you, I love your cover.
Thank you.
It's stunning. I love it so much. I went and looked up your cover artist. I was like, who?
Oh, you did?
Yes. So,
she's really awesome. I'm so glad I ran into her completely by chance. And then I was like, I got to check this person out. And then when I looked through her pre-made stuff, she had some really awesome pre-made stuff, but none of it quite fit what I wanted. So when I asked her to do a one-off cover for it, custom cover, I was like, hey, can you do this? And I went ahead and let her know about book 2 and book 3 in the same series. And when she came up with it, I was like, yes, I have to have these.
Like, this is right. This is what I'm looking for. I think it's funny though, because I have a model picked for the cover of my collector series, the next one that's coming out. And we might have the same model.
Really? Oh.
We'll see. It's hilarious. No, it's completely like the hair is different, the makeup's different, everything. But if it's not the same model, they're darn close. So our main characters in those two books look pretty much alike.
I would think there's a smaller pool of models out there for book cover stuff. And so they probably do get recycled a little bit here and there, but hopefully the rest of the cover kind of makes them different. But yeah, she, the cover artist from Drop Dead Design, she actually found that model and picture for me because I was having trouble finding the right thing. And I'm not really good at searching that stuff. That's kind of why I wanted to hire somebody to do it in the first place, because I was like, I'm an artist. I like to paint and draw, but I do not know anything about cover design. And I was like, this is one of those things. I got to delegate it. I got to push it to someone who knows what they're doing and pay them the money and get a great cover. So it worked out.
Yeah, the cover, that's one thing and when I talk to writers, that's one of the things I have to get across. The cover is not about art. No. The cover is about marketing. It's a completely different skill. So hire a pro.
Yeah. The cover has to reach out to the audience you want specifically, whether that's age range or genre, and it has to reach out to those people and say, hey, buy me. I look pretty, buy me. So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Jennifer says it would be a beautiful framed picture even, that cover. And she's right. It's beautiful. So, that's awesome. So is the raffle over yet? Oh, say, you got a few more seconds. Yeah, so I'm looking at her. So I don't know, I might call her. So for the next series, because I love my artist for this epic fantasy. She's amazing. She's out of Indonesia too, or Malaysia.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Anyways, but she's incredible, and she's definitely going to do this whole series. But for the next one, I was wondering, should I go with the same artist? Should I? Right, you want to make sure they capture the genre. And the next genre is paranormal thriller, right? So it's a different genre. So I want to make sure someone can capture that.
And she has a lot from, I don't know if you looked at her website, but she has a lot of like pre-mades that could be, thriller or urban or something
or horror,
like that.
Right? She's got a lot.
Horror,
So I think, so that's one thing I'm thinking that's much. Now again, it would be pre-made. I need the custom, but her price is very reasonable. But so that kind of, so looking through those, I'm like, oh, she can do this horror. This might be the person I need.
I know. And she's so easy to work with too, because like, even now, she's already got the covers for book 2 and book 3 to me, so that I knew they all matched in the series. So I went ahead and got all of them. But she is, she's ready at the drop of a hat when I give her the page count and stuff that it needs to be formatted to and things like that. So, yeah, she's really easy to work with.
That's so cool. So I will remember that. I'll name drop. Remember C.A. Baker? We're friends.
Yeah.
See? So the raffle is done. So if we can have a drum roll and see who won music. Yay! My mom did! Yay!
Oh, awesome.
So we'll send you. So Mom, if you or Vicky can email us on those directions that are right there, so that I remember what you won, and then I'll make sure to get it out to you, Miss Cheryl, so that you can send it out.
Sure.
So, yay!
Send out a free ebook.
So we'll send that out. Don't worry, we have one more to give away. So, but first, I had some more questions. Let's see. I said, your main character. Did you say it was Neva? How'd you say her name?
Niva.
Niva. Okay.
Yeah.
Niva, heir to the throne, boldly stops an entourage of emissaries as they leave in a fit after speaking to her father. And she attempts to negotiate a settlement when she has no idea what happened earlier and without her father's permission or knowledge. Like, she just steps right in there. So it's refreshing to see such a take action female character. So early, and it's right away. Like right away, you know who she is.
Oh yeah.
So what was your inspiration for her?
For her, I don't know. I think she's kind of the culmination of several past characters that I've had in even some unpublished things. Like they kind of coalesce into what she ended up being. But I'm not really exactly sure where she came from, except for bits and pieces of her personality and who she is came from other characters before her. But I do know that I wanted her to be one of those characters that that didn't sit on the sidelines, that took an active role, that knew her position and used it, but didn't abuse it. As well. So, I mean, there are characters, of course, you want them to be kind of morally gray or morally black, either way. And then, you want them to abuse their position. But I didn't want that for her. I wanted her to try to do at least what she was thinking was the right way to handle things. And so, and also she's very much, she's kind of like her father in a way, because she goes with her gut a lot, even though that doesn't always match what her father's gut says. Her gut may have something completely different, but that may be the mother's side in it. I also wanted her to have both of her parents. I read a lot of books because there's just no parents, and I'm like, I don't want that for her. I want something a bit different. One of my other characters could have a missing parent or something, but I wanted her to, have the parents there, but I also wanted to show that dynamic as well and how that would actually work with her still being the main person who's driving the action. Are her parents going to try to stop her, or are they going to try to get in her way? Are they going to try to help her? There's all these options.
Laughing. She says, I didn't even know it was possible for protagonists to have parents.
I know, really.
YA. I mean, come on now. I don't think that's legal.
It may not be.
Right?
I may not be. They may find me or something.
That's right. The writer, I don't even know what to call them. They're writer policemen that come in and make sure you follow all the rules. In that case, Kevin's in big trouble. So
all the author auditors.
That's right, author auditors. There you go. I like that. Yeah, they're also called reviewers. So you can also review. Mm-hmm. You can be an author auditor. Let's see. Kevin Petway asked, did you look at any particular historical events for reference or inspiration in your books? Not really. For me, it was more just about my fantasy background. Like I laughed, like I watched like Dark Crystal the other day and like Labyrinth the other day, and then reading Dragonlance was such a huge influence on me. And so you take these 3 stories and you see a lot of my story in there. I mean, I even have a great conjunction, for heaven's sakes. That screams Dark Crystal, right? When I watched that when I was tiny, I probably didn't know what that word meant until I watched that. Mm-hmm. So yes, I'm taking your job again. Sorry, Anne, I saw it up there. And then we have a question for you, Miss Cheryl. It says, have you ever written yourself into a corner that you had a hard time getting out of? And if you did, what did you do to fix it?
Well, I have before, and sadly, I didn't exactly fix it for that exact storyline. However, I found new ways to prevent it from happening again. So I used to not really plan much of the story at all, except for like a bare bones idea of where I was headed. And so I was like, well, this isn't working for me. It works for some people, but it's not working for me. So let's go ahead and give it more structure. So I pushed myself on the structure as far as I could get it, without feeling trapped, and locked into place with it. So I ended up doing, about 3 paragraphs of description per chapter, to kind of lay out things. It's short paragraphs, little short, 2-sentence.
You're preaching to the choir, man. My outlines are crazy. Yeah.
So I was like, I gotta find something that works for me. And I'd never tried outlining before. I'd usually done shorter things, but I was like, if I'm going to get really through, this longer novel, I'm going to have to do some structure here and kind of play around with stuff. And also, I also told myself that I was going to, once I had that structure, to keep myself from getting into those corners again, even despite that. I ended up making sure that even if I had a problem with the book, or with what I was writing so far, I put a little note in the document and said, fix this later, and then kept going, because I knew if I stopped to tweak it, everything would go out of place everywhere. So I started making notes for the editing while I was writing, but I didn't let it affect my writing. So if that makes any sense. So
I like to put 4 very large stars and notes in capital letters so I can't miss it when I go back to edit.
Yeah, and that was a huge lifesaver and game changer for the rest of my writing as well, is to know, hey, I can put my perfectionist little inner editor, because I'm also an editor, so put my little perfectionist editor in the back seat, and when she screams at me, I just write a note so that she will be complacent and nice to me and let me finish writing. So,
Give her what she needed.
Exactly.
So why don't we go ahead and give away the second copy of Treaty and Treason? We only have a few minutes left.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's see. Poor Anne. I owe you coffee anyways, Miss Anne. I almost just dropped some off at your house. We're still social distancing, which is really tough because Anne and I hang out a lot. And we go get coffee and we have lunch, and it's very difficult right now, this whole can't see my close friend thing. Kevin says, I asked Kelly because your characters and events are so grand and so grounded. Aw, thanks, Kevin. That's a combination. It seems very realistic. Even better that it's whole cloth. Yes, I'll tell you though, remember though, just like we said before, it's not just mine, right? I have my editors, I have the beta readers who read it. So just like when we were talking with Helen, you can't see everything when it's just yours. So it's kind of a group effort, which surely you understand because I'm Kevin's editor. So we definitely work together. It's his masterpiece, but I see all the flaws, poor guy. Sorry. And he still keeps coming back for more. I don't know what that says about him. So Raffle. You know what it says about him? He wants to write good books. You have to be able to take that criticism, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Raffle. Bang, Raffle. Exclamation point, Raffle. So what we're, question. I lost my train of thought for a minute. It's fun doing all of these things at once, isn't it? Obviously, I'd be a bad reporter with the person in your ear while trying to keep a conversation. It's definitely a skill. I'm seeing this now. When we had Diane, who loves to knit, and Helen loves origami. So I'm wondering, do you have a hobby that you do?
I actually learn languages.
Oh, interesting.
And among other like just arts and crafts, sculpture and painting. But yeah, right now I'm actually diving into. Well, I've been learning Irish, so Gaeilge, for a while,
Cool.
and so I just started learning Japanese as well. So yeah.
So you don't shy away from a challenge, do you?
No. I think there's something about learning how to express yourself in another language that kind of takes on a different worldview. So like I can give you a small example. Like with Irish, when they express feelings, in English we would say I'm sad or I'm mad, but in Irish it's sadness is on me, anger is on me. So it expresses that it's temporary and that it's a state that you're in, but you are not that thing. You are not that feeling.
It's external too. Yeah, that's very clever. I like that too.
Yeah, it's a whole nother way of looking at it, and English just doesn't have the right way to say those things sometimes.
That's very clever. I totally agree with you, though. When you learn another language, you really learn about that culture.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Japanese is very, I'm learning more and more about different levels of hierarchy. It's very, very hierarchical. So, and actually, learning about that stuff will eventually help me with some of my future books that are set in the same world as Treaty and Treason. So that'll be pretty interesting.
Nice, fascinating. That's a good call. I keep trying to learn Spanish and I keep failing. Oh, the raffle is now closed. So yay. We shall see who won the second copy of Treaty and Treason. Yay! Jennifer won again! She's our champion of the evening. I'm so proud of her. Yay! You've got a lot of reading to do, Miss Friday. Lots of reading. Helen's not surprised. She knew it. We knew you had it in you. That's awesome. So we're running out of time. So question for you, for the ones who can't see the chat, because our tech guru will put it up in the chat for everyone in there. But for those who can't, who watch this later, where can people find you?
Well, mainly you can find me on Instagram. That's where I'm on the most. And so I'm at author_CA Baker. So you can find me there. And I'm on the same username, author_CA Baker on Twitter. Facebook, I'm CA Baker Writes. So Facebook wouldn't let me have the same name as the other things, but that's okay. We'll make it work. I also have a website, authorcabaker.com, but you can contact me through there if you want to, but I'm on all the others so often. You can find me there probably more often than not.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. And for everyone else, the links for buying all of these amazing books we talked about today will be under the video for anyone who sees this on YouTube. So, and we will send all of y'all the link once we get it up there. So you can share the rounds. So thank you very much, Cheryl. Round of applause for Cheryl. Yay.
Thank you for having me.
So much fun. It's good seeing you. We used to see each other all the time.
I know. We got to catch up.
That's right. We do. So, excellent. So I think we are going to get our hostess with the mostest is coming back on.
I had to be reminded that I had to turn my camera back on because I had forgotten that I turned it off just in case. So, thank you, Tech Guru, for reminding me that my camera was not on anymore.
All right. Well, we had some great guests today, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was fun. I think we had a great time. I think it went really well, don't you?
Yes, I do. I think we did well. I don't know, how did it go tech-wise, tech guy? You're going to talk into the actual
Oh,
mic?
I don't think you want to ask him that question right now, but
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Is he fuming? He's fuming. I can't tell.
there were some
A few
comments
glitches.
made behind the scenes in the green room. So, yeah.
Well, everything was smooth for us, so well done.
That's what I tried to tell him, that everything was looking good. I was watching it on my side here, so. But those tech guys, they like everything to be perfect, and sometimes it's not always perfect that way.
And we're live. It's just not going to happen. Just
Absolutely not.
So, speaking of tech difficulties, yes.
What? Speaking of tech difficulties,
I think you're frozen.
Oh, I probably am. Yeah. Oh, look, that's a lovely look for myself too. So I'm just so glad that people can remember me in that way
for all of eternity. For as long as our books are popular. You can always cut it and just put a profile pic up.
Oh, thank goodness.
But while we're doing this, why don't we go ahead and give away, because I'm going to give away again another signed copy.
Your final copy. Yes, absolutely.
Whichever one you want, Tarbin's True Heir or Tarbin's False Prophet. And again, these are on order. I don't have them yet, but I do have some of these in stock right now. So they did finally come in. Yay! So we're going to go ahead and give one of these away. So if you'll do the raffle, and we'll get that. And we have your profile pick up, so you're good.
I see it. That's definitely much better than the half open mouth, eye closed. I don't know what was going on there.
No, your eyes are only mostly closed. They're all sultry.
Yeah, I definitely would not have called that sultry.
It's not late enough on Twitch yet, so yes. So we're
good. Oh my! I wasn't aware of this feature.
No, actually, Twitch has strict rules.
Okay, good.
Yeah, no, they have strict rules. That's one of the reasons why we like Twitch. So it's nice and safe. Awesome. So anyone who needs, who wants these books or wants to follow these amazing authors we've introduced you to, please come along. All the links will be on the video, and then all the links have also been in the chat. So they're in there as well. So thank you all for coming. If you haven't followed yet, please follow.
Yes, I was just about to say that. Don't forget to hit that little heart and follow the channel.
And you know what I didn't do last time that I think maybe I should do this time? If I can read through the not for sale part. Isn't that funny when you order books as the author the first time, it's got this not for sale?
Well, it's like an ARC copy, right? So it's just a proof.
But the proof costs exactly the same thing as actually getting a book. So, whatever. So I'm going to just read the back. It says, Talia had only just learned she's the true heir of an ancient city, not a princess of Tarbin, when the Astro Priest slapped her with another title, bright one. The holy gemstones she traveled the continent to acquire, it's really hard to read over this label, combined with the Tarbin crown, are a key to work a machine capable of recharging the magical power of the entire planet. All Talia wanted was agency of her own life. Instead, she's tasked with saving magical people. Sorry, I really can't read that at all. Though King Roland
wrote it.
It's totally it though. See, this is part of marketing too. You have someone better than you write this part. Though King Roland thinks Talia is under a foreign influence, her twin Tannen knows better. She wants to steal everything that is his by birthright. Intent on her complete destruction, Tannen searches for advanced weapons to regain his crown and title. He finds his weapon when he meets a prophet who speaks of the old gods. By ensuring the downfall of the Astro Priests, Tannen will end Talia's power and reclaim his own. If Tannen succeeds, the magical races will never awaken, destined to wither away as their magic seeps into the empty ground. Is Talia willing to sacrifice all she has fought for and more to save entire societies that are little more than myth? And if you want to find out, you must buy the book.
That's right. You have to buy, or you can win. Oh, never mind. You can't win it anymore. Now the raffle is closed.
The raffle is closed. Well, they might have already said it. We don't know. We're in that in-between glimmer time now.
I like that. Glimmer
That's our tech guy's favorite part about the lottery, right? Every time he buys a ticket, that one's the winner.
It's the glimmer time. I think you have something here. Glimmer time. I think I'm going to use that. I'm stealing that. I'm taking
You
it.
totally have it.
I'm putting it in my back pocket. Like, I'm writing it down right now. Glimmer time. That might be actually a title of a book. I don't know. It might happen. We will see.
You're back. It just started working for no reason.
My video started working.
Uh-huh.
Oh, great. I was so prepared for that. I'm sure it's amazing.
You're not live. It's to your profile. You're fine.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're live now. Pick your nose.
Why do we keep talking about picking my nose? This is not a problem that I have.
That's what they talk about. That's what they talk about on the, make sure if you're on the camera that you don't pick your nose. So I'm just repeating what they say.
All right. Well, that's fair then, I guess.
See? No, I have found out after doing these videos that I talk more with my hands than I thought.
Yes. I like to doodle. And so, that's what I was doing, as we were.
Yeah, I do have some cool sketches on my papers and critique group with you doodling with my different colored pencils. All right, so the raffle's done. Let's see who won. Another folk singer! Yay! Congratulations, another folk singer!
Yes.
Yay! So, yeah, Cheryl says she talks with her hands too. I saw you did too, but I seem to fill the screen. I don't know why. So, yay, folk singer!
We could have a voting contest or something next time.
A filking contest would be fun. So if you want to, another folk singer, if you will please email the Captain Wyvern at curseddragonship.com. You can see it on your screen, and give me your info so I can send it to you. And as soon as I get it in the mail, it will go out to you. So we just got to wait for them. Or unless you want book one. I do have a couple book ones. So you just let me know what you want, and I'll sign it and send it your way. So that's very exciting. Did you have fun tonight, Anne?
I did. I thought it was great. I think we had a lot of great chatters in the chat box this time. So thank you, all you chatters, keeping me entertained in the chat while I was also being entertained by the video. So super fun tonight. Absolutely.
Well, that's the fun part. We like the entertaining part. And just so you know, Florida Kevin down there, Kevin Petway, we're going to do this same kind of thing for him next month when his second book comes out, Blow at the Candle When You Leave. So anyone who had fun tonight and wants to come to the next one, it'll be on July 7th. Today's the 9th, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so July 7th. It'll be on July 7th. So he will be on camera, and it'll be so exciting. And we'll have 3 other authors as well, so you can find some fun books. So if you follow the channel.
And if you're Jennifer, maybe you'll win all of those books too.
His books, however, are not fit for children, so they are just good for you, Helen, as in the little children. We're not calling them YA, but I'll tell you right now, high school boys would love his work. But it gets back to that, I can't make that decision for the parent has to make that decision for the child. So yay! So we'll do this again next month, and I'm very excited. So do we have any ending things? Oh, and we didn't say, where can people find you?
Where can people find me? Where can't they find me is the question. So I'm everywhere. I am on Twitter at Ann M. Rose. I am on Facebook. My author, A.M. Rose, or A.M. Rose Author, I think it is. Then on, let's see, Instagram, I'm totally antastic like I am here, except for I believe there might be an underscore between totally and antastic on Instagram. So I'm kind of a little bit everywhere. I have a website, www.amroseauthor.com. And so all of the links to everything are there.
Yay! So this was fun. Yes, thank you for coming, Vicki. We're so glad you got to come. So it's nice to have this interaction without, like with Zoom, everyone's on camera. So this way you don't have to worry about it. So.
Yeah, on those times, I just put like a little sticky note right over the camera, and then that way people don't know that.
You're like, leave me be. I just wanted to have fun. I didn't want to be stared at the whole time. Gosh doggone it.
You don't have to worry about those awkward, pauses mid-sentence with the, the sultry eyes, as you like to call it.
They were definitely sultry. I should have taken a picture.
But
I didn't because I love you.
Thank goodness. Yes, because they were so not sultry.
Spikette says, go eat dinner. That's right. She knows me, right? I get grouchy when my blood sugar gets down. So
I was thinking I almost snuck away to get some ice cream during this, but I didn't. So
that's an after celebration. We can do it now, right?
Absolutely. That's my plan. chocolate ice cream.
Right?
So
Awesome. And for all of you writers on here, if you want to do writer sprints with me, I do them 4 times a week. So if you want to come together, and remember, this is just like this. So I'm on camera, and it's so entertaining because I'm silent on camera most of the times we're doing writing sprints. But I'm there,
pick your nose.
right? Trying very hard not to pick my nose. It's very difficult because I'm actually working, so you never know. So there's a lot of this, right? There's a lot of that, and there's a lot of this. So if this is what you're dying to see on screen, join me. And so we'll be doing that, and the schedule is below. So if you want to come join, we'd love to have you. I think that's it. Do we have any last minute questions? Right?
Yeah, any last minute questions for either Kelly or myself? I can take questions. Absolutely.
You know a little bit about writing.
I know a little bit about writing, a little bit about publishing. It says it right there. I am a literary agent. I do that during my day job. So my author side is just my secret side. So I'm, or some people like to call me, I don't know, Secret Agent Anne. That sounds good. I like that. I think it might, I think
that
I
might be the character in the book we read together. It's going to have to be that.
The one that I start and then you finish.
That's right.
Okay, perfect.
And we're going to call it the Glimmer Time.
The Glimmer Time. This is writing itself, basically, Kelly. I mean, seriously.
By the way, anyone curious, this is how the writing process works.
Absolutely. Oh, we got a question. Kelly,
Yeah.
what happened to Anne? Okay. Kelly, when do you get a tie-in with a jeweler for all your gem quests? Or
for all those questions? Yeah, the funny thing is I've actually thought about that, Helen. So I really want to do exactly that, to have, because it'd be a great thing to have for giveaways, a great thing to go with. And like the third character, the third book, she has a amethyst butterfly that she wears. So we've got that. We've got Talia's ring here. And they have names, right? So her ring on the cover there is called Wendell. So all of these names, they have names. There's a ruby ring that Nomira wears in the first book. And that one's called Crag. Right? So they all have these different names too. So it would be really cool to do that. So you have read my mind. Quite frankly, it's just I haven't got to it yet.
I know a jeweler out of Florida. She's incredible.
Oh, see, Helen, you might have just made us connect over this thing. See? So yeah, so it's definitely on my list. I think it would be a lot of fun. But, learning curve, running your publishing company and trying to write and get everything else done. It's lots of fun.
I mean, can't you just add a couple more things to your plate? Just a couple.
Totally. I mean, I'm already leaving out eating. So if I just leave out sleeping, I can get it all done.
There you go. I mean, I do not recommend these things, skipping eating and sleeping. So
only one or the other.
We were talking about hobbies. And so personally, there's the knitting and there's the origami and the learning languages, which I think is beyond cool, by the way. I am a great napper or sleeper. Sleeping, I think, is my hobby. So I think I'll claim that one because that's something I can do.
And that's why whenever I'm like, let's meet for coffee, you're like, wait a minute, how early?
Yes, absolutely. She's always trying to get me to go to coffee in the morning. And I'm just like, but I'll be sleeping in the morning. So maybe not. I don't know.
How many times have you told me 10 a.m. is still morning?
It is. It's still morning. It's still morning. So my kids are grown. I get to sleep in when I want to. Sleep is awesome. Thank you. Yes, sleep is amazing. I love sleep. Sleeping is the best. It makes me feel good.
All right. So y'all were wonderful. I think we're going to sign out now. Are you ready, Miss Anne?
I'm ready. Yes. If no one has any questions for me, so sad. That's fine. It's okay. I'm not as cool as the rest of y'all on here.
We'll have to do your book launch when book 2.
One day.
See? Yeah,
Yes.
we're going to have to do your book launch here.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you everyone for coming. And if you have any questions, you can email us. You know where to find the book, and we're here when you need us. Thank you.
Thank you. Have fun, everyone.